This presentation is about understanding consumer buying behavior. Consumer buying behavior is the buying behavior of individuals and households who buy goods and services for personal consumption. The big question for marketers is how do consumers respond to various marketing efforts the company might use? The starting point for that is the stimulus response model of buyer behavior, which states that marketing and other stimuli enter the consumer's black box and produce certain responses. In order for marketers to find out what's inside the black box, they have to figure out the why first, which consists of the four P's: the product, price, promotion, and place. The factors that would influence a consumer behavior are divided into three categories: culture, social, and personal. Culture is the most basic cause of a person's wants and behavior. It's usually learned from the society, family, and other institutions while reflecting basic values, perceptions, wants, and behavior. Each culture has a smaller subculture, which is groups of people with shared value systems based on common life experiences and situations. Examples of subculture would be Hispanic consumers, African American consumers, and American and Asian American consumers. Furthermore, every society has some sort of social class which is relatively permanent. Unordered division is in a society whose members share similar values, interests, and behaviors. Scientists discovered seven major American social classes, which are the upper uppers, lower uppers, upper middles, middle class, working class, upper lowers, and the lower lowers. A consumer's behavior is also influenced by social factors like reference groups. JetBlue is a perfect example of reference groups because marketers attempt to reach opinion leaders who are important to the target market because opinion leaders are recruited as brand ambassadors or for buzz marketing. Family is actually the most important buying consumer organization in society because they strongly influence buying behavior. Children, as much as adult family members, have an impact on family buying decisions. In addition to that, roles and status can affect consumers' buying behavior because people usually purchase products depending on the role and status of the products they're trying to get. A consumer is also influenced by the personal, which are the people within the same subculture, social class, and occupation, which may have different lifestyles. The personal factors that are affected are age and life cycle, occupation, lifestyle, and personality. Age and life cycle stage are when people change the goods and services they buy over time. Occupation affects the goods and services bought. For example, blue collar workers tend to buy messier clothes, whereas executives buy business suits. Lifestyle is a person's pattern of living as expressed in his or her activities, interests, and opinions. Personality is when it refers to the unique psychological characteristics that lead relatively consistent and lasting responses to one's own environment. Online social networks have allowed marketers to interact with consumers, which has an impact on consumer behavior. An example of online social networks would be Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. A person's buying choices are further influenced by four major psychological factors, which are the Maslow's hierarchy of needs: motivation, perception, learning, beliefs, and attitudes. Motivation is a motive that is sufficiently pressing to direct the person to seek satisfaction. Perception is the process by which people select, organize, and interpret information to form a meaningful picture of the world. Learning occurs when changes in individual behavior arise from experience. Beliefs and attitude is a descriptive thought that a person holds about something, and when a person consistently favorable or unfavorable evolutions, feelings, and tendencies toward an object or idea. An example of that, of belief and attitudes, would be matching today's attitudes about life and healthy living. Sobe brand has become a leader in the new age beverage category. Buyer decision process comes when a consumer wants to purchase a product, and they tend to go after the need of recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, and post-purchase behavior. Advertising about the product can be an excellent stimulating need of recognition. And in order to find out more about the product being bought and the need, consumers usually use personal resources, commercial sources, or public sources to get feedback about the quality of the product. For example, when buying a car, consumers will always ask around about the car before buying it to gather information. Evaluation of alternatives and purchase decision is the process that's dependent on the specific buying situation and the individual consumers. The two things that can interfere with purchase decisions, which are the attitudes of others and the unexpected situational factors that can occur. Post purchase behavior is consumer satisfaction, which is a function of consumer expectations that is perceived product performance. And depending on the performance of the product, consumers' expectations can be disappointed, satisfied, or delighted.